This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
Thank you for checking out the show and happy Paint Satrix Day.
Are you drunk already?
Hey, baby.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this year because there's no pressure to get intoxicated with my friends, which I love doing. Mm-hmm. But even if I were to try and meet up with my friends for one drink, that's
Game
not
over.
the case on St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
But I can't do anything because I have a dentist appointment in the middle of the day. And I didn't plan this on purpose, but I think it's going to be my saving grace for our show tomorrow. I will not be hungover. Well, we'll see what happens tonight. But
Why don't you have a few drinks before the dentist? Won't that make you a little more calm in the chair?
should I have green beer and go in? Wouldn't that be a nice treat
They'll
for
be
the
like,
hygienist?
What's wrong with this chick? Plus, I think beer and other alcohol thins your blood a bit. So the dentist would be bad news.
When they'd be flossing?
Just,
Whoops.
it would be a horror movie in
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
All right, so you're going to wait until after to maybe have a drink.
Yeah, we'll
That's
see.
where you're at.
What are your plans? I want to know what our listeners are doing. Are you celebrating St. Patrick's Day the same as you usually would? Is it looking a lot different this year? You said this is the first year that it's just you and your daughter hanging out. Usually you're with your buddies.
Yeah, I usually I'm hosting an event somewhere.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah.
And or I pretend I have to host an event somewhere, and then her mom will take her for the day.
Ryder,
Well, it's St. Patrick's Day, you know?
are you Irish?
Yeah, like 1/8.
Interesting.
I think my grandma Mary was half Irish. Yeah, no, so mine's definitely looking different. I guess I wait until my daughter gets picked up, and then there's an Oilers game at 8, and then I turn up by myself a little bit.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Thanks.
Play 107.
All right, this is a really cool stat. 52% of people during the pandemic had a wake-up call moment and decided to reach out to their communities and volunteer safely.
Nice.
That's really cool to see.
Yeah, I heard volunteering went way up this year. Uh-huh. So maybe more free time, but maybe, more time to think about how you want to help your community. That's a cool step.
Tell me something good.
My story is about a war hero, and his family had no idea. So,
What do you mean they had no idea? He was a war hero?
Yeah, a U.S. Navy veteran. He flew in 28 missions and ended up with a bunch of medals of honor, and came back, joined the police force, lived a happy life, and passed away in 1993. There was somebody who was digging through dumpsters to find some treasures, apparently, and found this bag of his personal items, medals, photos, ID, military records. So decided to donate them back to the Navy in hopes that they would find the family of this man to give the bag of goodies back to.
So they retrieved it and they were like, what do you mean he was a war hero? He never mentioned anything?
He never mentioned anything to his family. So they got all these stories and medals and were absolutely blown away that he spent his entire life just living humbly.
I was going to say, the best kind of heroes are the humble heroes.
Tell me something good. 07.
Okay, a little bit disappointed, I guess, as one of my ideas went viral, but I didn't do the video for it.
No, there is a yoga instructor named Amy Woe, and her TikTok account has over 11 million followers. She showed a life hack that would change her followers' lives forever. And it's her using the toilet backwards. It has racked up 3.4 million views. And it shows her setting up her toilet with an iPad on the back, a box of brownies, a bag of chips, and a drink. So she's sitting backwards, going to the washroom, watching television. And Ryder claims that he thought of this first.
Well, it's just way handier when, especially having dinner, you need to use a knife and a fork. It's
Ew.
impossible to do that sitting forward.
I thought you only used it to nap.
Oh, that's what I mainly use it for. But be careful, set an alarm.
Right. And bring your pillow because...
That's how I got hemorrhoids, is
Ew.
not setting an alarm. I'm just kidding.
Okay, but anyway, it is frustrating when you see something like this and you're like, I thought of this first.
And I'm just joking. I've never actually done it, but I always talk about it on the air.
Right.
And there's no way to prove that this was my idea first or that she even got the idea from me. But I think the OG listeners know. If they've heard me talk about it before, they know.
And they also know when their friends in the car are driving with them on a road trip and they pass a bunch of horses in a field. Mm-hmm. If one of them goes, look at the little hisses, they know that we came up with that
That's
first.
you. Yeah.
And I know every single person listening to the show right now also says that now instead of horses.
I don't know if they do.
It's too hard to say horses and it's not as fun. So next time you're driving by horses, say little hisses.
Yeah, but you want people to steal this idea and use it and love it,
Right.
embrace it.
Okay, so we're asking you about times that you came up with something or thought of something and someone else took the credit.
What do you got?
Yeah, I was in a high school play, and we were working on the set. And so everything I discussed with two people on the set, they went and took it to the director and claimed it as their own.
Did you throw hands at them
You
after?
know what?
Yeah.
Theater thieves are the worst kind of thieves.
Oh, I know, but the thing was, is I talked to him about it the night before, so he knew already it was my idea.
Yeah.
Yes! Best outcome ever.
Thanks for the call, Dan. Appreciate it.
This text from Rob is awesome. I feel bad for Rob, though. It says, my best friend always repeats my jokes to the rest of our group chat, and they laugh way harder than if I were to tell them. I feel like it's the same. We have a big group chat, and I do feel like you get bullied in it. Sometimes you'll say something and nobody puts the laughing ha-ha reaction to it, whereas someone else says something that's not as funny,
Yeah.
and everyone loses it.
You know what it is? And I've noticed this since I've made a living from radio.
Oh,
You may
okay.
have as well.
Okay.
It's that, like, we're supposed to be funny now.
So they don't appreciate us.
Well, they're not surprised by it. So it's the person in the group who's the least funny. When they say something funny, everybody's like, yeah, it's supportive.
I have a girlfriend's group chat, and one of them wrote, oh, my sister's Value Village clothing haul has 171,000 views on TikTok. And I responded with, talk to me when she hits over 1 million, because one of mine has. And I was like, oh, now they're going to ask me about, because none of them have TikTok. They don't care for it. None of them said a word. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Just silence.
What the heck is that about? You're proud of 171,000?
No,
Get out of here.
She should be, because, again, the expectations are lower, right?
Fine.
Play 107.
All right, let's see if I get my green card.
Yeah. So Ryder claims that he's 1/8 Irish.
I am 1/8 Irish.
Oh, okay.
Let's just find out if that actually counts. If I can back it up with some knowledge
All right.
on my homeland.
I also want to know if our listeners, like, how many out of these 5 questions you answer correct, okay? Multiple choice, you're welcome.
Oh, I should at least get one then.
Okay.
If I get 3 or more, I get a 4-pack of Guinness,
That's
right?
correct. How do leprechauns earn their gold? Growing potatoes, making shoes, or collecting teeth?
Whew.
It's a hard question, right?
I'm going to say, just based on Ireland's close association with potatoes, that the answer is A, from growing potatoes.
Wrong. According to legend, they spend all their time making and mending shoes. Then they stash their earnings in a hidden pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
0 for 1. Next.
What city dyes its river green every St. Patrick's Day?
I think I could get this,
Without the
With
multiple
the-
choice?
but I'm still going to take the multiple choice because I want the Guinness.
Amsterdam, Manchester, or Chicago?
The answer is Chicago.
That is correct.
Yes, I was going to say Boston.
So they dye their Chicago River green, and it's been a tradition since 1962. It actually takes 40 tons of dye to get the river to a suitable festive shade.
Seems a little silly.
Yeah, it does.
Next.
How confused do you think the fish are?
Yeah, I was just going to say, especially like when you see your wife fish and she's green. Mm-hmm. Like, what happened, Barb?
How many pints of Guinness are consumed each year on St. Patrick's Day? 130 million, 13 billion, or 13 million?
Well, it's not 13 billion. Everybody would be dead. 13 million.
That is correct. All right.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, not bad. What did St. Patrick use shamrocks for? Medicine, teaching the Holy Trinity, or good luck?
Let's go with teaching the Holy Trinity.
That is correct.
3 out of 4. I'm Irish. I told you.
All right. Okay, just one more question, just to really bring it home and prove it.
No problem.
St. Patrick's Day, what is the point of it? Like, what is it actually celebrating for St. Patrick? Is it his death, marriage, or birth?
It is his death.
That is correct. On March 17th, 461 AD, St. Patrick, Christian missionary, bishop, and apostle of Ireland, died at Saul Downpatrick, Ireland, where he had built his first church. We're all learning something today, aren't we?
Not really. I knew it all already.
Okay.
More of Ryder and Lisa coming up.
Play 107.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. I've written some limericks for all the on-air hosts here on the station.
Is it Limerick or Limerick?
It's Limerick, I believe.
Ryder, you're 1/8 Irish. You should know.
It's Limerick.
Okay, and what exactly is a limerick?
Well, it's a poem with like an AABBA rhyme scheme.
Okay.
So if you think of like famous ones, there once was a man from Nantucket or whatever.
Sure.
I can't do the rest of that one.
But you wrote a bunch about everyone that works here at Play.
Correct.
All right, let's hear them.
They originated in Ireland, so I thought for St. Patrick's Day,
Makes
it was
sense.
appropriate. Let's start with our afternoon host.
Jake Ryan.
We know of a man named Jake Ryan. His thoughts are always a-flyin'. He drinks cheap beer, likes to look in the mirror, but his favorite pastime is crying.
Does he cry a lot?
Big time crier, yeah.
Okay.
Next we'll go with Jenna, if that's cool.
Yeah, that's our evening host. We love Jenna.
To Jenna Winterburn, here's a toast. She always overcooks her roasts.
Oof.
She did dry February. Her evening show got a little scary because without a wine buzz, she's a terrible host.
I don't actually think she made it through all of Dry Feb, to be honest.
Thank God.
Okay, who's next?
The new guy.
Johnny Jasno, in after us at 10 a.m. He's also our music director.
Let's raise a glass to Johnny Jasno. He's on air right after Play 107's best show. He controls our music and is a total lunatic. You can tell because he drives a white Bronco.
Ooh, smooth.
Who else do we got here?
I think you're done.
No, there's one more. Finally, let's talk about Lisa Evans. When she glows up, she's a 6 or a 7. She's going to cut off my head for what I just said. Let's hope I can get into heaven.
Very well done. All right, my turn.
No.
What?
You didn't say anything about going.
Well, maybe I'll just make one up on the spot.
No.
Well, now that I know the gist of it, AABA.
AABBA, and no, it's too hard.
Okay. What can I say here? My friend Ryder is a weak man. You can tell from his baby hands. He smells like pee, dresses like he's 13, and most of his cooking is bland.
Hey, Play 107, Ryder and Lisa just had a memory pop up 1 year ago. You sent me a list of essentials to pick up from the grocery store, as it was about a year ago to the day that it started getting real. Like restaurants started closing.
Right.
Pubs weren't opening up for one of their busiest days of the year. You knew that was pretty crazy, and the government suggested that be the case. Mm-hmm. Everybody started locking down, like workplaces, things like that. It was intense.
Yeah, I remember they were like, it's just 2 weeks.
Yeah, here we
That was
are.
a year ago.
So I just wanted to read the list of essentials that you sent me.
Okay. This was at the grocery store just to...
That was the
Stock
moment.
up.
That was the moment I realized like how serious it was when I went to the grocery store, masked up, and you're like walking slow, like looking around, making sure nobody's close to you. We didn't know enough about it. I mean, I guess we still really don't to feel entirely safe. But at that point, you're like, am I going to get it from the grocery store?
Right. Remember when we were washing our groceries or like people were wiping them down
Yeah.
and you bring them home?
Yeah, like every precaution necessary right off the start.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was the list of essentials Lisa sent me. Kraft dinner.
Makes sense.
6 frozen veggie pizzas. You must have been on one of your vegetarian kicks at that point.
Still am, kind of.
Cheese. Cheese whiz. Cream cheese, the big one. Potato salad. Penne, not rigatoni
Never.
though.
Yes, always penne.
Viva Puffs, dark chocolate with sea salt, corn nuts, but only if they have ranch, an XL family-sized bag of mini eggs, milk duds, and polysporin, the strong kind. Really good essentials, by the way.
I don't think I said polysporin.
The strong kind, I have the screenshot of the text message you sent me because I posted it.
There it is. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, there's the proof.
We wanted to ask, what was the moment that you realized how serious COVID was? Like, was it something you watched on the news or a precaution you saw somebody else taking?
Yeah. Daniel wrote in saying, remember when the Mavericks stopped their game and escorted 20,000 people out of the building in the middle of the second quarter?
Yeah, that's true. And that was in Texas, which is one of the ones that's allowing full stadiums of fans back in first.
Right.
So, yeah, when Texas was taking it seriously, we all had to.
Play 107.
Been doing this pandemic thing for a full year now, especially, like, I guess memorable was last St. Patrick's Day when it was really like touch and go if pubs were going to stay open. Most of them closed, others like partially closed, but that was a big eye opener that like, dang, if the bars are shutting down on their busiest day of the year, what else is coming? And then people started working from home and it all shook down from there.
Yeah. So we're asking you, what was that moment, that defining moment that you remember so well from around a year ago? TU wrote in saying, when I picked up my kids' school stuff after lockdown, our once very welcoming school was transformed to a very clinical, serious, and cold place that made it feel very real for me.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
School shutting down obviously
It was wild.
huge.
Yeah. But, you know, big ups. I still have to say great job to everyone that works in education, especially ones that aren't that tech savvy, that figured out how to do their classroom over Zoom with all of their students.
Yeah, what a wild
Whoa.
amount of changes in such a short amount of time. What was your moment, Jacqueline?
We showed up at Costco, and the lineup, like, wrapped around the inside of the store. And, like, you couldn't get milk. And I was like, we actually talked about moving to the farm because I'm like, well, at least we can grow our own vegetables.
Wow.
Right. Did you, how much toilet paper did you grab on that first trip? Be honest.
None, because there wasn't any there.
It was gone already. Okay.
Yeah. I actually had to text a friend to be like, hey, can I bum a roll of toilet paper?
Wow.
Usually when you ask a friend that, it's the awkward hand out the bathroom door.
Spare a square.
Can you grab me? Or underneath the stall.
Yeah, we haven't been able to do that for over a year. So.
Right. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. Did you hear some Irish music playing in the background there?
Yeah. I did.
I don't know if that was me or if...
It might be your computer.
Or if Jacqueline was calling in from Ireland.
Wendy said, remember when Trudeau got on the news and looked all of us in the eye and said, come home if you're away.
Yeah.
That was so intense for me when he looked directly into the lens.
Well, and you had a sister who was in New Orleans at the time.
Exactly. And Wendy said, I was on a cruise ship in the middle of the Caribbean with my 8-month-old and elderly parents.
No.
Think of the anxiety.
Well, and cruise ships got hit hard there right off the start.
Right. And then let's say you go to an airport after and all of the TVs, it's on every newscast.
Terrifying. Like now, I mean, obviously... a very real pandemic with the people that we've lost. And but it's amazing how we've adapted and now it doesn't seem scary anymore. You just do the things you're supposed to do. Or I would say most people do the things they're supposed to do to stay safe, but it doesn't seem quite as terrifying now that we know about it as when we didn't know back then, eh? Wendy Williams has had another little whoopsie.
Okay, so far, things that I recall, I haven't actually watched her show, But there was that one time when she was in her Halloween costume that she fainted.
Yeah.
What else has happened?
So she farted.
She farted on her
quite loudly,
show.
and then she said that she didn't fart, but everybody's pretty sure because she did like the.
She did the lean to the side.
And the lean to the side.
There was a lean.
She just ripped one.
Yeah.
Well, now she's done a little combo that includes a burp and a toot.
No, at the same time.
Well, she's talking about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's split.
And she probably got 5 new boyfriends. We haven't caught anybody coming out of the house yet, but, just a matter of time. She's not lonely.
Wendy, she's not lonely. Also, just bashing Kim Kardashian and that.
I can't stand Wendy Williams. She is my least favorite TV host of all time, without question.
No, that's her shtick, though. She's kind of the bully of daytime television, right?
But she also doesn't put her thoughts together very well. Like, if you're going to say something controversial to get people fired up, you need to, spend a little time working it out so you know what you're saying. Like, it sounds like she's just grasping for straws most of the time trying to be offensive.
We all have a friend that's exactly like that.
Yeah, we do. It's just most of them don't get national talk shows. Anyway, here it is one more time.
She's not lonely.
Wendy!
The double!
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.